Right, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to charge it up, but what I'm also going to do is measure how much charge we get after 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and how long it takes to fully charge it up. Because what I want to measure is, if I'm in a rush, what can I get away with? So I'll do this scientifically with a proper stopwatch. So, okay, so it started charging already, and even though it died on us, it's saying with its 6%, which is not true unless it's grown some charge overnight. But like I said, I left this overnight. I wanted to give it its best possible opportunity. The manual says it charges quicker if you leave it to cool down, so we probably wouldn't do that ordinarily, but I wanted to give it the best shot. So let's see what we get now. So we'll kick off the stopwatch. Good. Right, so I set this off a little bit late, so that's 15 minutes. You got 15% there, or 6 miles. What it had obviously done is it either regained some charge overnight or lied to me a bit when it said it was flat out there. I'm not sure why, but it started off on 6%, so in 15 minutes it's added 9%, which, to be honest with you, so it's on 15% now. When that gets to 10%, it goes into limp mode, so you've got 5%, which is going to realistically get you 2 miles. So not great in 15 minutes, if I'm honest. So let's see what we get in 30 minutes.
It's getting closer to midnight. I try to get closer to you. Drinking courage from my red cup now. I will soon make a move. Ooh, I can taste it. The bittersweetness of taking a shot. A risk worth taking. If it's a shot of love, baby, I adore you. Maybe I adore you. Yeah,
Right, so to be fair, I started that about a minute late, so we're just hitting 30 minutes now, and so it's added another 9%, so it's adding about 9% every 15 minutes, so 24% is 10 miles. So in half an hour you're going to get 10 miles range, but bear in mind that probably 2 or 3 of those miles are going to be in limp mode. So yeah, you wait half an hour. Well, I mean, it's up to you, isn't it? Depends how far away you work or how far away your journey is, but half an hour is, so I would suggest then in another 30 minutes, which is the next time I'm going to check, it's probably going to have added about 18%, but we'll check and then we'll see how long it takes for a full charge. Yeah, so about 9% in 15 minutes. Right, so we've done an hour charging and we've got 42% or 17 miles, so it's pretty consistent, 9% every 15 minutes. So Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So you've done an hour and you've got 17 miles, which again, probably 13 of those miles are going to be at full power. Yeah, okay, well look, it's up to you. I guess it depends on how far you need to go and what your own use case is. If you live in a city, that's probably decent. Right, let's leave it now, we'll see what a full charge is. Manual quote's 4 hours, so we shall see. Right, so we've been at this now 3.5 hours. It's actually fully charged a little bit early. It's just flashing between 10 and 5 minutes left. It's been doing this for ages, but it's on 100% now, 43 miles left. So that's not bad, 3.5 hours. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just take this for a bit of a run round now and just wrap up the video and wrap up this little mini series of 2 videos on electric scooters. I did a review of this particular scooter really in episode 1. This episode really is more about living with electric vehicles, so I'll just summarise my thoughts on that now, but let's continue.
Right, so just to give some of my final thoughts and wrap this little 2-part mini series up. This is a great little scooter, but I did a sort of more an initial review of that in the first episode. But in summary, you know, it's great, it's quality, it's a cool little thing. You're going to get about 40 miles out of a charge, and you'll get about 35-40 miles an hour maximum speed. The charge on this thing will fully charge, as I've just demonstrated, in 3.5 hours, and for about 15 minutes you're going to get about 9% charge. It'll hit a limp mode at 10% and you'll drop down to 28 miles an hour limited, and then about 8% you'll drop down to 20 miles an hour limited. So the point is, as a scooter for just buzzing around a big city, if you live in a city, you work in the city, and you sort of do all your little errands in the city, and you don't need to travel more than 3 or 4 miles a day, perfect, brilliant, definitely have one. It's green, it's good for the environment. You know, you've been in and out of traffic, there's no congestion charge, there's grants available for electric vehicles as well, check on them yourself. So great little thing. You know, if you need to do any more than, you know, a sort of 10-15 mile each way journey, probably not the vehicle for you unless you can charge it at work when you get there. My issue, to be honest with you, my mind's not really changed, and my issue is still the same as when I started, and it's not an issue with this scooter as such, it's an issue with all electric vehicles, and I just don't think the infrastructure's ready for electric vehicles yet, to be honest. Certainly not as an only/daily vehicle. If you've got one, you know, and it doesn't matter if you don't have to use it. If you've got a backup, or you know, you can just as easily get to work on the public transport or something like that, fair enough. Because the issue becomes if you forget to charge it. It's not so much the range, because there are scooters and various electric vehicles available with quite a decent range, you know, as much as some cars and bikes. It isn't necessarily the range. Like I said, it's the amount of time it takes to actually charge it, and if you know, put yourself in a position where you know, you're in an emergency, or you go to sleep and you forget to charge it and you're late for work, or you know, somebody rings you, one of your family's in hospital, I don't know, just anything where you need it immediately, you're gonna struggle, because like I say, you need to charge this to get 10 miles out of this. You need to charge this for about an hour, probably more, and it's just not acceptable. You know, like when you can nip to the fuel station, chuck 10 quid's worth of fuel in and do 100 miles, and that'll take you a couple of minutes tops, and you're never, you know, more than a few minutes really away from a fuel station, or very rarely, certainly in urban areas. So I think for a utility vehicle doing a job, I do think there's a place for electric vehicles, and I do have time for them, but they need to improve the infrastructure. You know, they need to improve the ability and the speed of charging, and the battery technology as well, should I say. For a lot of people like me, I was going to say most, but that's not fair. For a lot of people who buy bikes and two-wheel vehicles for recreation, or as a toy, being bluntly, it sounds a bit wanky, but it's up to you, isn't it? It's personal preference. But for me, the visceral experience of the exhaust noise and the, you know, my V4, for example, the noise of it is such a big part. I mean, you just don't get it with this. It's just like it just wheels along. So, like I say, to do a job, perfect, brilliant. I'm behind electric vehicles. I'm behind anything that's good for the planet. I get it, but I think there's got to be balance, and people need fun. People want, need to be able to make their own choices and do what they want within within the realms of being appropriate. And when you look at how much emissions a motorbike kicks out compared to your local Chelsea tractor that takes the kids to school every day with a 3-litre diesel engine, it's not very much, right? And people need to be able to make their own choices and have fun. So I'm still not there with electric vehicles yet. I don't think we're quite ready as a nation to support a electric only transport infrastructure. That's what I'm basically trying to say. Pretty cool. It's a nice little novelty, and I enjoyed buzzing around on it this week. But would I buy one? Only in a really narrow window of use case where I might go and move to London and live there. And even then, I wouldn't have this as my only mode of transport. I'd need to really be in that inner city, just buzzing around the city environment. Then I'd buy this, absolutely 100%. Which, to be fair, will apply to thousands and thousands of people. So I hope this review is useful for you. If that's you, definitely buy this, mate. It's just as much fun, if not more so, than your normal 50cc 1-200cc scooter or whatever they come in nowadays. So yeah, that's it. That's where I am. Just a little series on living with electric vehicles and a quick review on this Piaggio Elettrica. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find my comments useful. There's lots of content to come, lots of reviews, track day stuff, etc. If you like the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button, and if you subscribe, that really helps me out as well. Blah blah blah. I should really have this sort of spiel on a loop. I'm also on Patreon as well. If anybody wants to go and support me on Patreon, there's loads of content that I put on there that doesn't get seen anywhere else, behind the scenes, early access, ad-free videos earlier than YouTube, etc. Go and head over to Patreon, and if you want to help me out, that's great too, but it is not required. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.